fans are growing more concerned about Disney's new Snow White remake, mostly because of what the lead actress has been saying to the press.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. And we absolutely wrote a Snow White that
she's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love.
If you talk shit, it's going to come back. There's something called cause and effect. We don't just sit around and say, yeah, we grew up watching this movie called Snow White in all these other countries, and all of a sudden you show up and we have to...
People would stop sending me death threats.
Right. Every time that a celebrity gets like one DM that says KYS, they're like, I'm getting death threats. Someone say.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death.
Taken back by the they're very proud to cast a Latino actress as Snow White.
What gave him the voice for all of our community?
Weird.
Peter Dinklage shared his opinion on the new Disney Snow White adaptation, and he believes the whole thing is completely backwards. You'll be shocked to hear what he had to say and why people are furious about it. Peter's comments on the new movie starring Rachel Ziegler have gotten a lot of mixed reactions, not just because of the existing negative feelings some fans have had for casting Rachel in the Snow White role, but also because a lot of people feel like Peter has sabotaged other actors with dwarfism.
They cast Snow White as Latina. Dinklage basically said, great, we have a Latina. Wonderful, that's good. But we still got dwarves. We still got the dwarves in the thing. Like, hey, bro, like some of us need those roles. Like some of
us weren't in Game of Thrones.
Some of us don't have that Game of Thrones money, dude.
A lot of people in the industry are especially mad with Peter's comment, not only because he directly insulted Disney, but also because he decided to speak on behalf of every other actor with dwarfism, which is why he's been receiving a lot of backlash.
There are actors, dwarf actors, that live, that dream to be in a major motion picture such as this Disney remake. And now, because Peter Dinklage said what he said last year, now it's taken away. He had in the past no issue cashing checks that were made for dwarf roles like Elf and all of that. Yeah. What gave him the voice for all of our community? Why?
Actors like Dylan Postal have been very loud about the fact that they heavily disagree with the point that Peter was trying to make, not only because he pushed Disney away from hiring little people for the roles, but also because this could greatly influence future acting jobs. Actors with dwarfism have a hard time booking roles not specifically made for them, especially if they aren't Peter Dinklage, so it's a great loss that they can't even book roles that they would fit perfectly. Many actors are arguing that the people cast as the dwarfs at the moment aren't really adding to the diversity quota that Disney is seemingly trying to live up to since. They could have instead looked at the little people community for actors of different ethnicities and genders. Peter himself actually addressed the fact that Disney was trying to appear wokey by casting Rachel Ziegler, who's a Latina actress, but that they stopped trying with the dwarfs. However, other actors believe that Disney changing the dwarf actors is now even more harmful. But that's not to say everyone fully disagrees with Peter. Since TikToker and indie movie director Aubrey Smalls actually believes that continuing to cast actors with dwarfism in dwarf roles specifically wouldn't actually have done any good for the community, and coming for Disney won't solve anything.
Not only does it not really do anything or solve any issues, but what are you guys going to do to support dwarfism past the story? So you're not going to go see the new Snow White movie. Okay, are you going to support actors with dwarfism? Are you going to pressure these studios in the future to cast more little people? I really urge you to see what the center of your passion behind this is. Too long didn't read. The little people who are talking about this on the news are really problematic to begin with, and they do not speak for us.
The Snow White movie has gotten more than enough hate, not only because of Peter Dinklage and the magical forest creatures that were cast instead as dwarves, but also because of the entirely new direction the movie is going. Some people even believe that Peter's comment to Disney might have had a bigger impact than just changing the dwarfs into magical forest creatures, and that it might have even impacted the whole movie's vision and turned it entirely too woke. Rachel Ziegler has been very open about the fact that the movie is a very empowering feature, and that she sees her character Snow White as a very feminist adaptation.
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
Super weird.
So we didn't do that this time.
So no prince, or a different kind of prince?
We have a different approach to what I'm sure a lot of people will assume is a love story, just because like we cast a guy in the movie,
Right.
Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I think everyone's going to have their assumptions about what it's actually going to be, but it's really not about the love story at all, which is really, really wonderful. And whether or not she finds love along the way is anybody's guess until 2024. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
However, this, along with the reimagination of the dwarfs, has received the most criticism, and fans are unlikely to change their minds, especially with the way Rachel keeps speaking about the character. A lot of people believe Rachel is going too far with her Snow White comments, and that she might actually be the reason the movie will flop. Peter Dinklage's initial comment certainly doesn't help Disney either, as that's gotten its own kind of backlash, and it looks like there's very little Disney can do at this point to get fans to change their minds. Some people are even going as far as demanding Rachel gets replaced, and not just because she's Latina. Rachel brought the hate to herself. No one was hating on her before her comments on Snow White, being disrespectful, acting like her version is better than the original. It's only after that people started hating her. The hate for Rachel has been paralleled with the hate Halle Bailey got for The Little Mermaid. And a lot of people have actually pointed out that most of the hate is just because she disagrees with old stereotypes that might do more harm than good. I don't even care about Rachel Ziegler, but the hate she receives in this app is ridiculous. And the fact that she's receiving that hate because she's not writing poetry about her love for Snow White is who cares? While Peter Dinklage couldn't have predicted the downward spiral of the Snow White movie when he first pointed out negative stereotypes, he and Rachel have been credited as huge reasons for the movie's downfall, even if some people agree with their vision. So, what you think about Rachel Ziegler deserves this treatment. Let me know what you think in the comments, then check out this next video.